Defense Minister, you have the floor. Thank you. Thank you.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, this statement is motivated by the constant demand for information related to matters of national defense and security, and I thought it prudent to share with the House what is possible and what is not. I'd like to start off by quoting the great Roman statesman Marcus Tullius Cicero, who in the middle of the 1st century before Christ proclaimed the following: "The safety of the people is the highest law." We have since witnessed the evolution of states with the sole purpose of providing protection to their citizens. In a modern state, that safety comprises the protection of the territorial integrity and national sovereignty. Therefore, it goes without saying that information related to institutions and activities responsible for that safety should be kept under lock and key, away from the prying eyes of potential adversaries. The following are examples of information that is likely to endanger national security or the safety of members of the Defense Force in accordance with Section 54(1)(a) and B of the Defense Force. 1. Documents showing the location of our military facilities as well as the disposition of our forces. Information on the military capabilities or the state of preparedness of the Defense Force, which is where we had an issue with the Auditor General making that report public. A war plan or a complete plan for future operations. Information showing the strength of the armed forces engaged in operations and the quantities or nature of their equipment. Development and procurement plans. Research, development, production and procurement of munitions of war. Particulars of scientific or research projects, the value of which incorporates new technological developments and techniques having direct military applications. Information concerning specific quantities of war reserves. Indication of weakness, e.g. shortages of significant sensitive items of equipment. Intelligence and information, the value of which depends on concealing the fact that we have it. Some information can still be classified, even though an adversary could reasonably be expected to get that information through its own straightforward, independent efforts. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, the bottom line here is, within the military, it's not only that which we have that is classified, but also that which we don't have. Not every member of the Defense Force has information about everything in the Defense Force, I included. You would appreciate that the more people know about something, the less confidential it becomes. As the saying goes, if you reveal your secrets to the wind, you should not blame the wind for revealing them to the trees. We are just custodians of this information. It is not within the powers of the executive to disseminate it as they wish. Nor is it within our powers as lawmakers to demand it as we wish. It belongs to and is for the safety of the ultimate sovereign, the people of Namibia. We only get access to what is necessary for us to make informed decisions in any given situation. However, during my maiden budget speech, and when I was responding to the Auditor General's report, I had informed the House that from next year onward, the debate on the defense budget will be conducted according to international norms. That is, it will be discussed in camera by the Standing Committee on Foreign Affairs, Defense and Security, which is where most of the doubts will be cleared. And it will only come into the House for reading and tabling. Of course, if during the course of the year When other issues of national concern or national importance come up that need to be clarified, they can still be brought to the attention of the committee. But these issues should be engendered by specific incidences and accidents. The committee cannot just demand to know how many rifles or how many hand grenades there are in the fort. Trying to get answers to the above information in an open forum such as a parliament is fruitless. Now, does this mean that debate on defense matters is completely off limits? Of course not. Defense has three strategic objectives or missions: national defense, contributions to regional and international peace and security, as well as aid to civil authority and civil power. We can debate the merits or demerits of deploying our troops for peacekeeping operations abroad. We can equally debate whether the troops can be deployed domestically in the combat against the spread of the COVID-19, for example. However, we cannot debate whether action should be taken against a foreign invasion or secessionism. In the event of an attack, the commander on the ground will not await orders from the Chief of Defense Force before he takes action. It is on that basis that personnel, equipment, and facilities deployed for national defense purposes are not debated in public. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, that's just how things are in the defense sector. Unfortunately, there is no Namibian way. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next, Honorable Venani.
Honorable Speaker, I just want to remind the Honorable Minister of Defense that my own career in this House have served various defense ministers. You are not the first defense minister I'm coming to know in this House. One, when you were a member of the civil service, an ordinary executive director at defense, you made a press statement saying that politicians, people elected in this House, have no right to criticize the budget of the defense. Where did the civil servant get that power to direct to elected representative of this House, not to attack? Secondly, when the Auditor General spoke of an unaccounted 500 million missing in the books of the defense, you call the Auditor General of the country who is given constitutional power by the Constitution of this country that he is trying to meddle in the affairs of defense. Are you telling us that money must go missing well, no, we can ask questions on ministerial statement. Thirdly, as Minister of Defense, during a parade, you decide single-handedly to attack one part of this nation community directly. How are you? You are trading, he's a good friend of mine, but you are trading to become the most dangerous politician in a democratic state. Because what you want to create is that the army must become untouchable. When this country goes to war, let me educate you. And during the time that Namibia went to war into DRC, I was a member of this House. Listen you. I was a member of this House. When the country goes to war, the president will need the mandate of this House to go to war. So it's not the generals that decide. It is us that decide to approve a country going into war. Read your constitution.
Thank you.
So don't make the defense an untouchable holy cow. Defense must operate within the realms and the norms of a democratic
Thank you. Thank you. Honorable Kakawandenge, are you responding to the same? Yes, please. Okay, wait for the lights.
Yes, Honorable Speaker. While I fully perhaps concur with some sentiments expressed by the Honorable Minister, there is just one thing that evokes fear. Fear from the posture, the conduct, and the articulation of the Honorable Minister. Just something. Now, we are not saying that certain aspect of the ministry that is sensitive should be discussed in this parliament. But when relevant questions arise to a minister that should be accountable to this House by the oath that you took to protect the Constitution of this Republic, the Constitution that has that section of fundamental human rights, the very Constitution that empower this legislature to question and hold any minister accountable. We want that answers to be given, Honorable Minister. That is just the crack of the matter. The rest, yes, but when we ask pertinent questions that are relevant to the security of this nation, please humbly do so with another face, maybe, I don't know.
Thank you. Thank you. Honorable Swartboy.
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much for the opportunity. I want to be on record, Honorable Speaker. What is today's date? 16 September 2020. I want to be on record. God forbid. But what I'm sensing every time I hear Wilgo Hafeni speaking is that this man will be killing many Namibians. God forbid. Because the posture of this man projects the deepest sense of readiness to institute a military coup as well as to eliminate a huge section of Namibians. And they thought, Mugabe thought this was not going to happen until it happened. I'm saying, I'm asking you to put me on record, and I place myself on record. I'm seeing red signs coming, and I know he's related to Nicanor, and they are related to the Mushalengas and so on, and they are related to the Helmut Angulas and so on. I see red flags coming. That having been said, Honorable Speaker, no member of Parliament would want strategic and tactical defense capabilities of their country to be discussed willy-nilly, never. That would be irresponsible whether you are opposition or wherever you are. The defense capabilities of a country is first its pride, because it finances it, and secondly, must be protected to ensure that the country's defense capabilities also has the full capability to defend territorial sovereignty and integrity. The difficulty that we see now is that the guns are turned consistently inward, as happened in Zimbabwe, towards citizens. And it's good that others on that side may be blind, but when the cannon turns and the neighbor's house is blasted by a cannon, your house is also not immune. Defense capabilities are not just to be protected by those that serve. At the same time, while it is not just their responsibility to protect the defense and information that is part of the strategic capability and arsenal of a military, those that are working there must also ensure that there is internal peace and cohesion. Just last week, Saturday, an Ovaherero-speaking Namibian person came to me who has served for 20 years in the Defense Force, stating that if you do not grant sexual favors to those commanders, not all, some, your chances of promotion are near zero. She has been imprisoned, they couldn't prosecute anymore, and they have been sidelining her. I have her name, but for security reasons, I cannot mention. The same person has also alleged that there is a very clear ethnic approach to promotion. Very clear approach that if you speak languages that are different from Wilgo, then you are not promoted. This is what people in the defense forces are saying. I'm saying this, Honorable Speaker, that perhaps the threat to the defense force does not come from some unarticulated foreign threat. It comes from within, from people in the army who are dissatisfied with the tribal concoction that for 30 years has defined the military of Namibia. I so thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Honorable Swartboy, two quick comments to that. I think in any given society, we have particular challenges, bad apples, and I underline the fact that the source who spoke to you said some. There are some, which is very important to underscore. But I also, as leaders, honestly, on a serious note, it's a pity that we face this particular pandemic and we are not able to interact as we normally used to do. Sit down together, sharing together, the kind of information you are raising there must find their way into the system to ensure that some of those challenges are actually taken care of. So I just wanted to put it on record that when things improve, I think we need to do more as lawmakers to interact with each other in order to be able to talk to each other. After all, this is the country that belongs to all of us, and together, working together, definitely we can improve on some of those particular challenges that might come our way. So let me leave it at that. The ministerial statements are completed. The Honorable Minister of Defense, please, you would like to come back with a few comments? You have the floor.
Yeah. Okay, first of all, Honorable Speaker, I would like to come back to the comments of Honorable Venani. Honorable Venani has already raised that issue that I was responding to lawmakers. In the first instance, I did correct him, and I'm still going to repeat it. When I made that statement, we were invited at the budget discussion at Avani Hotel. And people there, and I was saying Honorable Iyambo was also there. We were all speaking, various people expressing their ideas towards the budget. And there was no honorable member, there was no lawmaker making statements in that particular forum against or in favor of the budget. So I was responding to my peers that were there in that hall at Avani Hotel. Secondly, on the issue of troops deployed for war, what he said speaks to my speech. When I say that, if we are going to deploy troops for peacekeeping or for peacemaking, we can debate the merit of that. But I was saying when Namibia is attacked, we cannot start debating about that. The commander on the ground will act. That's what I said. So the issue of going to the DRC, yes, that will have to pass through this house. It will be debated here, and the nation will agree whether they want to send their sons abroad. That's straightforward. On the issue of Honorable Kawandenge, he also has a general statement, but I more or less believe where it's headed to. The first thing is that it has to do with the presence of the Chinese in Namibia. Already in August, the Minister of Defense, before even the House, the session opens for the House, we already issued a press release to refute those allegations. After that, on the 19th, Honorable Swartboy wrote me a letter inquiring about the same. I still responded to him. And then again, when we came to Parliament, Honorable Savior raised the issue. I refused to answer because that was tantamount to political theatrics. He was no longer asking for a question because we've given the questions already on several occasions. So I have felt no obligation to give him that satisfaction. Yes.
Yes, okay. No, say that.
It's a Nuyuma's house.
Honorable member.
It's not a Nuyuma's house. What is the problem?
Yes.
You are even fake now, much more.
Let him speak on the point of order.
No, what happened is that I was reading his response because he refused to answer to us in a letter. So I came to raise it here. So he must not pretend here. He's not telling the truth. Yes.
Okay.
Now, Utoni, your time will come.
Okay.
Please.
Thank you.
It's not your father's house here.
Thank you.
It's not your father's house.
Okay. Thank you.
I will donate to you free bread.
Thank you.
The guy is too fat even to consider what is going on.
Thank you, Honorable. Say that.
Like hungry lion.
Minister of Defense, please, could you round off, please? Is your mic on? Okay.
Honorable Speaker, with regard to the statement of Honorable Swartboy, I beg to differ with him strongly. But I would like to say, if there is any threat to the Republic of Namibia, it will probably come from them. Yes. The Honorable Swartboy.
No. Yeah.
Honorable Swartboy. Honorable Swartboy.
Yes, I get it. I'll come back. I'll come back to you. Yeah. I'll come back to you. Oh, wait a minute. I'll come back. Okay. No. I'll come back to you. Honorable Defense Minister.
Honorable Speaker.
Yeah. I'll come back. Yeah, I'll come back. Please,
Yes.
Minister of Defense.
Okay.
Did you mean that really?
Yeah? Yes. I'm coming to that. Yes, I'm coming to that. I'm saying that it appears the honorable members of the LTM are serving two constituencies. One constituency is Namibian and the other constituency is foreign. Yes. Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Swartboy, I'll give you the chance. Let me just why I wind up.
Honorable Speaker, I've got two documentary proofs here that every communication that we ever had with LTM always passes this information to foreign governments. So I did not know what is the purpose of it. Every time we have a discussion, we passes this information to foreign governments.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
Okay, I get it. I'll come back. Yes. Are you done?
yes.
And I'll come back. I'll come back to you. I'll come back. Okay. Thank you. Okay. I get it. Thank you. The Minister, can you wind up, please? I'll give you a chance. Thank you. I'll give you a chance. Minister, please, can you wind up? You, please, conclude. Is the mic on? The mic. I'll come back to you. Okay.
That's the issue.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
And the other day,
order, please, order. I'll come back to you. Order. Minister, please. Minister.
yes.
Order.
No. Honorable Speaker, I think the Namibian nation has heard enough of what I wanted to say. I will just leave it there because there's no point.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let's leave it at that.
No point.
Honorable Secretary. Wait for the mic. Wait for the mic. Wait for the mic. Okay.
You see, Comrade Speaker, the problem is that LPM is a registered party with ECN in Namibia.
It's on a point of order. Please, continue.
Now, ECN is registered with, we are registered with ECN. We are a recognized political party here. We do our business here. As much as ideologies differ, we can write to anyone we want in Namibia. Now the minister, he is adding threats to Honorable Speaker.
Thank you.
He is making assertions here.
Thank you.
I want you to call him to order. Throw those.
Thank you.
Because tomorrow I will come and threaten him also.
Thank you.
Yes.
On a point of order, Maureen Hinda Gwende. On a point of order, please let's have order. Order. Okay. Order. Please continue.
They will deal with you. You don't play.
Order! Please, you have the floor.
Deal with you.
You have the floor.
Yeah.
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much. Honorable Speaker.
Honorable member, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to ask Honorable Speaker a question on the procedure and probably why exactly we got these new systems in the House. I was of the opinion that these new systems will allow us to have a better managed Parliament debate. But I've noted that people stand up and ask, first of all, order, well, there was nobody on the floor. And don't even say point of order, the reason why they're asking for the floor. We have situations that two people speak at the same time. Now, what it happens to the person that is sitting and listening is a lot of noise, because if you don't have the permission from the system, you don't have, you are not part of the network, of the sound system. As a result, we cannot hear what the person is saying, and you just see arms flying all over. It really makes us look like a madhouse.
Thank you.
And I really want to call the Speaker to get order in the House. And if possible, if when people take up from the same party for that matter, stand up both at the same time, it really causes disorder. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much. I think we should calm down, accept the fact that the noise that is prevalent now will not help us to make progress. Let's leave it at that. Honorable Shifeta, you have the floor.
Honorable Speaker, on a serious note, Honorable Speaker, I think I'm raising on a procedural point here. Honorable Speaker, I'm raising on a procedural point.
Yes.
Honorable Speaker, I think this House should regain a decorum. If the opposition feels that it is proper and is in order that they make noise whenever any person from the ruling party speaks. We will reciprocate. Your point will come, and I think if that's the order from now onward, we should adopt that. We are going to do that. I mark my word.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let's have order. I'm going to honorable members, please. I want you to be seated. I've not given a floor to anybody. No. Please, order. I'm now going to rule. Can we have order, please? On a point of order. Order. Honorable members, you don't have the floor. Honorable Venani, Honorable member Venani, you have the floor.
Honorable Speaker, decorum in
He stole the money now. He thinks he has won. Ade wants to groom you. You are sold something what? You have nothing, Shipeta.
Honorable Speaker,
You have no speech. You
better listen.
You never had
Please listen. I'm on the floor now.
You have been a known retard.
Honorable
Retard,
Speaker, Honorable Speaker,
we can call any nonsense person. Everyone knows you are retard.
Order, please, order. Let's hear each other. Please, order.
Honorable Speaker,
Honorable Venani, you have the floor, please.
Decorum in the House is very important and it must be reciprocated. The presiding officers cannot allow the Deputy Prime Minister to do what she did without not following the rules. But I'm rising on a very important point of order, and it has to do with security in this House. Honorable Speaker, I'm hearing voices around the House. We are going to deal with you, probably politically and otherwise, and I respect that, and it is part of a robust debate. But I am very alive to the fact that outside here, members of the Central Intelligence are in a precinct of Parliament. And what are these people doing here? Security officers must sit outside here.
Yes.
They are right here. What are the Central Intelligence officers doing in an elected Parliament? Are these the people that need to deal with the opposition, or why are they there? And for as long as the Speaker does not guarantee my security, by bringing people that are not supposed to be, strangers that are not supposed to be in the precinct of the House.
Okay.
Yes, it's true.
Okay.
So I want to know from the Speaker.
Let me respond.
If I have to deal with Kateshimi, it must be me and him dealing with each other in a robust debate. But if you go and get ulterior forces to come and deal with members, that will not be acceptable.
Let me
explain to
Honorable
us what are
Venani,
people doing here.
Honorable Venani, please, let me assure you, the image of this House, it is at stake. Unless we ourselves are able to rise to the occasion of acting responsibly, with respect with each other. As long as I am sitting here, I can assure you one thing. I'm conscious of the need to preserve the integrity of this institution. No question about it. No question about it. Because I know the value, and I come from a historical background that have appreciated the need for us to preserve what we have. Not only for today, but for tomorrow. So there's no question about me getting involved in things that will actually devalue the standing and the status of this institution. You take it from me, I can assure you, we are a people who like to live in peace and to preserve peace. And I know that each of us, at a given time, we might become very emotional. But at the end of the day, I am a strong believer in accepting that people sometimes, they'll do things emotionally, but at the end of the day, we are in it together. We are in it together to build this nation and to preserve it, not only for ourselves, but for generations to come. So when I sit here and see some of the commotions that I observe from time to time, it pains me. But at the end of the day, I go home surrounded by a very loving family with grandchildren who jumped on me. That is how I survive. Because when my attention is taken by those who are so innocent and whom I need to nurture in order to be decent citizens of our nation. Honorable members, I take my word. Honorable when I take my word, there will never be an occasion where we'll be confronting each other violently and that sort of thing. It will not come from this guy sitting here. I mean it. I mean it. But I need you and the rest of us to work together that fine line to make sure that we do that. You know, I also really believe sometimes there is so much that we can do. I accept that question must be asked. And I